Hello, today we are going to really concentrate on the back and a little bit of the core. This is going to be a really good class, particularly if you are experiencing some kind of back stiffness or maybe a little bit of pain. Maybe you're someone that sits at your desk all day and you just feel like you need a bit of movement in your back. I think often when we get pain in our back, we think, oh, we can't move. But actually, our spines are quite robust. I think we need movement in them more than we need stillness in them, and our spine loves to move in lots of different ways. So it's going to be gentle on the spine, but it's going to move it in a few different ways. So let's come down. We're going to come straight down onto our mats, and we're going to bring our feet quite wide of the mat. Just get comfortable. And we're going to start thinking about our feet, so not even thinking about anything else other than our feet. So let's take a big clearing breath in, breathing in, and then let everything go. Just feel yourself melt into the mat a little bit more. And then we're going to close down our lips and just gently breathing in through our nose. And seeing if you can breathe out through your nose. And again, a few more like that. The last one. And then as you exhale, I just want you to roll your feet to the right. So you're just thinking about rolling to the edges of your right foot, the inside of your left foot, and then come back to the center again as you breathe in. As you breathe out, we're going to do the same thing, but to the left. So rolling on the edge of your left foot, edge of your right foot, inside, I should say, of your right foot, and then come back again. Now thinking more about your ankle, seeing if you can let your ankle go all the way to the floor. You might not be able to do so with your left foot, coming back to the center as you breathe in, really taking your time and seeing if you can do it with your breath, going the other way. So the ankle of your left foot's coming down to the floor. Maybe feel it, and then trying to see if you can get your ankle of your right foot. Probably won't go, but just trying. This time we're going to think about our knees. You might want to move your arms out a bit. So thinking about your knees coming to the floor and then coming back again. Again, they might not go all of the way to the floor, and that's okay. Just being slow, taking your time. And then coming back again. And then this time your hips. So you want your hips to roll. You want your right hip to roll onto your side. So you're actually going to lift your left hip off. Your left shoulder might come off as well. And then come back to the center. And the other side. I love this one. I can just feel it in my hip, the lower spine. Really twisting. We're just going to do a couple of those. And then come back to center. And last one. And come back to center. And then bring your knees into your chest. And just gently maybe rock from side to side, or maybe have a little bit of stillness. We are just going to roll our knees out and then bring them back in again. So again, if you can use your breath, breathing in to come out, breathing out to come in. Going the other way. Oh, can you hear my hip click? And then bring your knees together, bringing your legs up to the sky. So here, I don't really want to go too far. So often I maybe do some dead bugs and bring our arms into play. Today, it's just all about your core, not thinking about your arms. I mean, obviously your arms makes your core go a little bit deeper. But what I really want us to do is think about our belly button, that belly button threading right through to the back of the mat. So really keeping your back nice and flat. And we're not even going to stretch our leg. I just want you to think about dipping that right foot, keeping that thread, keeping that belly button all the way threaded, dipping it to the floor and then bringing it back up again as you breathe in. As you breathe out, dipping it all of the way to the floor and then coming back up again, really keeping your core, or I should say that belly button, that thread pulled all of the way in, keeping your back really glued to the floor. Let's do a few more of those. Seeing if you can really use your breath. The slower you go, the better it is. Breathing out brings you down. Breathing in brings you back up again. Breathing out brings you down. Breathing in brings you back up again. Breathing out. Breathing in. And then bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a really nice big hug. And then this time we're going to keep our arms out to the side. So breathing in keeps you here. Breathing out, just letting those knees drop to the right, looking back to the left. Breathing in brings you back up. Breathing out, going the other way. Breathing in brings you up. Breathing out, going the other way. Breathing in brings you up. Breathing out goes the other way. Breathing in brings you up. And then you've got an option, depending on how your back's feeling, remembering to listen to your body. You can either rock and roll up and down the mat, or if you feel like your back, your spine could do from massaging out, or you can roll onto your side and get up slowly. I'm going to just rock and roll really gently, just massaging out that spine on the mat. And then if you are sitting up from rolling onto the side, let's just meet in all fours. So we are going to bring our hands to the mat, pushing the ground away from us. So I really want you to think about this part of your spine, your lower spine, when you're in that neutral position, not having it arch, really thinking about that part pushing into the ground, very much like when we were lying down on the floor and you were thinking about that thread from your belly button threading all the way through and pushing into the ground. It's exactly the same feeling here, really engaging that core, pushing that ground away. Now, either staying here, again, a tiny little bit of core work, or tucking your toe, making sure you've got that lovely flat back, and then lifting your knees up. We're going to hold it for 3, for 2, for 1, lowering your knees. Let's just do some cat-cows, and then we're going to do that again. So now really moving our spine, waking it up even more, breathing in, lifting our head up to the sky, our chest up to the sky, our tailbone. And then as we breathe out, we're thinking about that lower back coming all of the way up to the ceiling, tucking our tailbone in, tucking our head in. Breathing in, looking up, and then breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. And just a couple more of these. Taking your time with it, really trying to make as big of a movement, I should say, in that spine as possible. And then we're going to, after we've done this last one, come back to a neutral spine, tucking those toes, really pushing the ground away, thinking about that lower back, thinking about that thread from your belly button, tucking your toes, lifting your knees, holding it here for 3, for 2, for 1, lowering down, this time bringing your knees together, and then bringing your hands by your sides and bringing your body over your legs for closed knee, child's pose, just to round off your back. And then we're just going to do one more thing before we finish. Coming all of the way up, bringing your hands to the mat, bringing your feet up into downward facing dog. We're going to walk our hands all of the way back, and then we're going to slowly uncurl vertebrae by vertebrae, reaching our arms all of the way up, entwining our fingers. Then our index fingers point up to the sky as we breathe in. Again, really thinking about our back, thinking about that thread pulling through, engaging everything, not letting those ribs flare. Going to the right, coming back to the center, going to the left, coming back to the center, and then rolling all of the way through our spine. Vertebrae by vertebrae, so shoulders first, rolling, and then coming all of the way down, and then coming all of the way back up again. Slowly, slowly, slowly does it. Breathing in this time, bringing your arms shoulder height. As you breathe out, you're going to give yourself a really big hug, bringing your right arm on top. And then as you breathe out, you're going to bend your knees, let your head tuck in. Breathing in lifts you up, chest comes up to the ceiling. And then take your left arm this time, breathing out, crossing your arms, carry on breathing out, tucking your head, bending your knees. This is for your top upper back. Breathing in, breathing out, bringing your arms down, rolling vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all of the way down. Last little thing we're going to do, planting your hands, remembering to bend your knees as much as possible. Last little spine, rotation of your spine, reaching your right arm up. And then breathing out, bringing it back down again. And then left arm. And then bringing it back down again. And then slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all of the way up. And that is just a little 10-15 minutes to get your spine moving in a way that feels good. And I hope you have the best rest of your day. Bye.